The word promise means to me, a promise means to me hope. When someone promises you something, it's almost like they give you a bit of themselves. They're dedicating a piece of their lives and their energy to you.
In 1999, Kaylee Zaytouni began a journey she never expected.
When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with MS. And the doctor sat down with me and told me that this will now change everything in my life.
But rather than letting it beat her, she and her family decided to fight back by founding YAMS, Youth Against MS, a Los Angeles-based organization that raises money to find a cure. Multiple sclerosis is a life-altering disease that has devastating effects on people of all ages and their families.
Having a child with MS and all of its uncertainties that come with it is full of fear, and you have to be strong.
Although there have been 6 drug treatments developed in recent years to treat the symptoms of MS, much more work needs to be done. Now, there is a promise, a 4-year, $30 million project devoted to strategic key areas in MS research called Promise 2010. Promise 2010 will fund pediatric MS centers of excellence and set the standard for pediatric MS care. The MS Lesion Project is the most extensive attempt ever to map and study how MS affects the brain. The Sonia Slifka Longitudinal MS Study will focus on the effects of MS over people's lifetimes. And finally, more than half of Promise 2010 funds will be dedicated to the area of nervous system repair and protection. This groundbreaking initiative assembles 4 medical teams from around the world: the University of Wisconsin, Johns Hopkins University, University College of London, and Cambridge University, each tackling the challenge of reversing the damage caused by MS.
It seems that with MS, the immune system is attacking myelin proteins, and myelin is the coating around the nerves that allow them to conduct impulses efficiently from one point to another. It's similar to the rubber coating around wires, and if you lose that coating, of course the electricity from the wall won't get to your lamp.
What happens to the individual really depends on which nerve is affected. So if it's the eye, then you get blurring of vision.
My eyes were jumping right to left really, really rapidly. So my entire world just constantly looked like it was turning, which was very nauseating.
It makes it hard sometimes for them just to get up in the morning. Stress, fatigue, tiredness is a major part of multiple sclerosis.
Then there's a rare group of people with MS who present with disease progression. They just become disabled, they become impaired over time.
The world's best minds have embarked on an unprecedented effort, each with their own expertise.
We're working on remyelination, which is the repair of damaged myelin, which of course is something we must get to happen in multiple sclerosis if we want to find cures for the disease.
We decided to concentrate on looking at neuroprotective agents and biological compounds to try and target growth factors.
We've chosen to identify very single important strategic lesions and then take a group of patients and implant cells that could be used for repair with the goal of improving function.
And in a short time, there is good reason to be confident.
I always say to my patients who I'm diagnosing that if you ever had to get diagnosed with MS, now's the time. I'm very optimistic that we'll be able to cure this disease in the future.
Promise 2010 is a promise that will change lives.
The word promise was particularly well chosen because it has so many different meanings. There's the promise that we as a team will deliver treatments for multiple sclerosis.
It's a promise to patients. It's offering them hope that we're going to have a therapy to target progressive disease that'll actually make them better, improve their lives.
For me to know that something has been promised to me is incredible, especially something like a cure. And it gives me immense hope because I firmly believe in it. Promise is real.
Your donations are an important part of making Promise 2010 a reality for Kaylee and others like her.
Well, of course, I feel very honored and privileged, but it's particularly exciting to be directing a team of really the best minds in research.
I'd like to thank you personally on behalf of my group and all the other groups involved in your generous donations towards this MS research campaign.
We will use these funds with an international effort to find a cure for people with multiple sclerosis.
This is the research team that your money supports. We're all working very hard to try to find new cures for multiple sclerosis. And with your continued support and the hard work of my group and groups like it, I'm confident that we'll get there. Thank you very much.
What you're doing is definitely going to bring us to a cure, and that will make a huge difference in my life and in the lives of over 2 million people worldwide.
Thank you for caring. Thank you for being here for us. And let's keep the promise.